Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. So some of our friends here in the space, some of our friends in this space who are with us, who are sharing in this meal that we are being nourished by tonight, are from the beautiful faith of Islam. And today, of course, they're fasting even as they are serving us their music. And we wish them Ramadan Mubarak, blessed Ramadan. We are inspired by the tradition amongst the Sufis, the great mystics of Islam, who when speaking of God, spoke of God as the friend. As the friend. And in our tradition, in northern Israel, in 16th century, some of the poets would imagine God in the same way, as a Yedid, as a friend, Yedid Nefesh, friend. So imagining the encounter with God not as an encounter with a great scary being, but with one who might listen, who might smile, who might say, let's go play together. So if your heart can open to feel the presence of God as friend, find these words of our great poets on page 7 and 8. And please join us with your voices, your body, in whatever way that you play with divine. Yedid Nefesh. 7, 6 and 7, 6. Turn back a page, everyone. Was that beautiful? Was that beautiful? I was like, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh my God. Oh, you did nefesh. If the poet who wrote that, can you imagine you singing that? So beautiful. So shalom aleichem. You say aleichem shalom. Shalom aleichem. Shalom aleichem.
Aleichem shalom.
Salam aleikum.
Alaikum
salam. So, Shabbat shalom. Shleimut, wholeness, peace, shalva. You know, my Rebbe said to me, my teacher of Zalman said shalom is not from the word shalem, but from the word shalva. Which means like, ease. So may you have ease. Imagine when you welcome someone, you say welcome, but may you be not at peace, but at ease. It's like be at ease. You're not at attention, you're at ease. As you walk in at ease, so feel your body and feel where it feels easy. I'm so blessed to be standing here with my friend Brielle and surrounded by these incredible spirits and all of you. So let's sing together on page 6 again. Let's be at ease. Shalom
Aleichem, Malachei Hashem, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bachem Leshalom, Malachei Hashalom.
As we turn to page 9 and 10, Lechu niranena, Lechu niranena, ונכלל לפני אביך לבני אדוני עושנו כי הוא אלוהינו. יושב לכם 40 שנה.
40 שנה. הכות
For you last week. I've been so touched by being able to be in prayer with Romemu, and I said, oh, we need something right here, and it's very simple, so it's got two parts. I want to teach it to you first. Try that. Beautiful. One more time. That's halfway there. Try that. One more time. Whole second part. With me. That's the whole thing. Here we go. שירו לאדוני שיר חדש, שירו לאדוני כל הארץ, שירו לאדוני ברכו שמו, משהו מיום ליום ישועתו, סברו הגויים כבודו, בכל העיר לפניותיו, הגענו על אדוני מול הלהיות, לא
השמיים תגל הארץ, גם הים ומלואו, יעלו שדי כל אשר בו, אז ירננו כל הצייר, לפני אדוני תשפוט
Page 21 and 22. Anabekoa.
Ana בכוח גדולה ימינך תהתיה צלולה כהמרינת את עמך סביבו תרימו תרימו נורא לילה גיבור שורשך אותך כרבה שרם אחריכם תרם רחמים צדקתך תמיד תמיד
So I invite you to take a moment as you close your eyes just to feel your body. Take a moment to feel and whenever your eyes want to open, find the words in your own time. You can find the words of our ancestors on page 25, 20, 23, 24. עטרת בה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עשה כולה בואי חלה שבת המלכה היי 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 לך דודי היי אליי לקראת קבלה אומני בעיני שבת בעיני שבת Please remain standing as you turn to face the front of the room. Psalm 92 on page 27 and 28.
טוב להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך העליון להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות עליה סואב עלי היגיון בכדור כי שימחתני אדוני לפניך במעשה ידך
Join us, everyone. Hear this?
Quieres balón izquierdo שתולים בבית אדוני בחצרות אלוהינו יפריחו עוד ינובון בשערה דשנים Hakir yashar Adonai Suri v'lo ala tabo
We stand here tonight as we prepare to pray for healing in the presence of those in our community who need healing tonight, who are struggling with illness of body, pain of heart, confusion of mind, and also amidst yet another week in which, with all of the things that are happening, we hold the community of Nashville, Tennessee with us as well in the brokenhearted space tonight. And we ask that there be healing in whatever miraculous forms it might take for those there and within our midst. The words to this prayer can be found on page 113 on the bottom right-hand corner. Beautiful phrasing from the book of Psalm 147, brought to life by our beloved Shir Yaakov's melody. May it bring healing tonight to those who are broken-hearted. משברך אבותינו ואמותינו לברך רבי כל החולים, החולים בגוף וברוח ובנשמה וחיה. May the Holy One of Blessing heal people in whatever dimension they feel suffering. Bring them to wholeness. Give them a sense of community surrounding them and lifting them today and every day. We say, you may be seated, everyone. So as you can see, these beautiful musicians, two of whom have been fasting all day, and Ramadan Mubarak, it's iftar, so it's good. You see. Shabbat. Elliot. Yes. Still. Okay, good. How's that? Better? Okay, thank you. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbos, good Shabbos. Hello. We have a couple of announcements to make. I'm off the headset. I'm on this because that one was too. Okay, got it. So, hi. How do you talk after that? We should just like look at each other. We're like, wow. Like we're like, was that? Yeah, right? Amazing. Like when you receive that music and you in this kind of connection, it really regulates the heart, helps us feel more human. We sing together that way. So, a couple of things. If you're looking for a place to eat tonight, we have a registered dinner tonight. But if you didn't register, it's also cool. We'll give out ways that you can register after Shabbat and take it with you. So across the street, immediately following services at about 8:15, meal. It should be a beautiful evening tonight. Also tomorrow morning at 8:45, our Shabbat HaGadol. It's the Great Sabbath this weekend, and so we'll be learning Torah together. I'll be teaching, and then Rabbi Kolar Esses and I will also be teaching together during Shabbat services afterwards. Also to let you know that Criminal Justice Reform mini-series, session 3 will be happening on Sunday, April 16th. You can see that on your newsletter. We also would like to let you know that as Romemu and other communities, but since you're here, as this community comes back on site, it's always been online, but on site, we invite you to, how many of you feel extroverted enough to be a greeter? Just let me know. Any feel extroverted enough to be a greeter? Okay, great. So Roberta Wall's already there. Do I see one? Do I see one, two, right there? Carol Foreman going once. Anybody else? A greeter, right there. There's a greeter right there. Another greeter. Shelley's greeter. There we have a greeter. Guy here, four more greeters. Anybody? No? Thanks, Jeff, but you work here. I mean, come on. All right. So we need greeters. It's like really nice to walk into a place that you don't know and to feel welcomed by a friendly face. So if you are called to do that, that would be wonderful. We also need chesed volunteers as well. We have a remarkably robust chesed community that's re-emerging thanks to Rabbi Kohler Estes and to her minion of folks. I think I saw Marcia here tonight. Marcia right there? Okay, Marcia. Who else? I think, and Elliot Figman, and Jamie Phillips, of course. Jamie, thank you. So join the chesed volunteers. Volunteer to help out. If you don't have a place to go for a second night Seder, do we have any room left for the second night Seder, Jeff? We do. Okay. Second night Seder will be across the street on Thursday evening, April 6th, rather. Okie doke. Anything else? Oh, Westchester's here? Hi, Westchester. Everybody say hi to Westchester.
Hi, Westchester.
Westchester in the house. All right. Who else is here? Anybody else want to say hello tonight? We're hopping here tonight. Anybody first time, second time, never said hello before? Returning. First time. Oh, awesome. Yay. You mind standing? Sure.
Good Shabbos. Oh. Ari and I'm Alana's brother. I'm here with my family. Michelle, Ella. Want to say hello to Michelle?
Michelle, first time here. I drove here. I made it. From California.
Well, you flew from California, drove from New Jersey. Yeah.
It sounded much more dramatic, but like that. How many of you drove from New Jersey? But that's still cool. You came from California. Who else would like to say hello? Anybody? Moving around? My gosh. Hi, Susan. Oh my gosh. You know, we never did this before where I actually said hello to people. Like, you know, it's usually, it's like, I just want to say hi to Keisha and Susan and Evie and Paul and Karen and Arthur and like, oh, look at these people. Hi, guys. Hi, Veronica. Like, anybody else want to say hello back? I'm going to keep naming people. Anybody? Hello back. Okay, thank you. Anybody here for the first time want to say hi? Or second time? Oh, look at this. Right here. I got like, look at that.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah. My name's Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
Hello. 9.
Wow.
I live in California with my mom and Ari and Muna and Ella.
Do you want to come lead with us? I love that. So,
But he wanted to be a greeter.
you want to be a greeter? Yeah, you don't live here. I know. It would be hard. I know. But maybe you should train us, though. The way that you just like, that was so, like, you could train us to be like, hi. I love that. That was, hello. Oh, okay, right here. And then another one. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Yuval.
Hi.
I'm Cecile. I'm Yuval's mom.
So nice to have you. It's your first time. You happy to be here? You like
Yeah.
You like the music? You like dancing and the music?
Yeah.
Oh, so nice. You want ready to get back? Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Okay, we have one more person that can move around. Yeah. Hi.
Hi, I'm Susan. I live in Chicago now, and I'm a member of Mishkan, so I feel, very comfortable here, and thank you. Good Shabbos.
Welcome. Good job.
So Mishkan is a sister community that's in Chicago, and we've been there, a couple of people. So it's kind of, when you say you're comfortable here, it's because, do they also worship in a church? Is that no? They're also in a church. That's right. And that must be it. That was the thing. Okay. Awesome. They're a beautiful community.
I just wanted to say hi. I'm Sandy Kelly. I'm living in Maine right now, kind of stuck in New York, but the worship just freed me. I loved it. Oh, yeah, singing and dancing.
Stuck in Maine. Okay. Well, stuck in New York. Well, we're happy to have you. Hi, guys. Did you want to say hi?
Hi, greeting from New Jersey. I'm Lazora. I'm here with my partner Iman. We're very happy to be here in person for the first time.
Welcome.
Awesome. Anyone else? Whoa. Anyone else over there?
Second time. The first time I cried too much. It was something about the music. The second time I'm not crying as much, but I now know that it's the Spirit that fills the place.
Amen.
Thank you for having us.
Henry, thank you. Hi. Okay. I'm a crier too, so it's like I get it. It's like if I would get up, my kids would be like, "Oh, he's crying again." Oh, beautiful. Anybody else? I'll say hi. Okay. All right. Hey, Westchester, you're still here. Hi, Westchester. Oh, wow. So why don't you just get up and COVIDers, or I mean, if you want to. I mean, Roberta's telling you that you're welcome to stand up and say hi. Well, if you're here for the first time since COVID, we're so happy you're here. Welcome. Welcome back. Visited, there was a group of Israeli teachers who come every year. They're from all over Israel, from the north, the south, from the middle of the country. They come, and part of their journey to New York is to see Jewish life in New York City. And so they kind of make stops at all the different places. And every year, Romemu gets a chance to talk to them, and we say to them, they're curious about Judaism in New York because it's very different than Judaism in Israel in certain ways. And certainly one of the features, of course, is that we're in a church, and it's not the most common place to pray in Israel. But the essence of what they saw is what Henry was pointing out, which was in places like B'nai Jeshurun and Central Synagogue and in other beautiful communities around New York and Romemu, there's a Judaism that's very human and very joyful and very real and inviting. And that's something they said that is so refreshing to them, to be around an invitation, to be connected. So one of the most beautiful connectors in our community is our poet laureate, our amazing Sharon Dolan, who's going to join us at the Bima for a poem tonight before we call to community. Sharon.
Shabbat Shalom. It may be spring, the chill still in the land. We are almost ready to choose the yearling lamb to keep inside for 4 days till the moon is full with its bleating. And we sacrifice it, dip hyssop in its blood to touch our lintels with, then roast it in fire and eat of it, eat all of it in haste, even its head, even its innards. I have girded up my loins, my staff in my hand, my feet winged with sandals, ready for flight. This time, may I soar more swiftly, be the first to toe the waters, have the courage to do without knowing the outcome. Trust in the full splitting of the sea of my life. Let leaving our leavening be easy, building a new life on the next shore, what we need our faith for. Wandering may be in our blood, as is the search for home and the unseen one to take us there. Oh, Moses, we have learned to look up. We are on the brink now of belief.
Please rise, everyone. On this Shabbat, that is the Great Shabbat, also on the day of transvisibility. On this Shabbat HaGadol, this Great Shabbat, where we recognize and remember the historical event of the Jewish people, the Israelites, who had the courage to face the God that had no power so that they might serve only that which is true. On this day of facing truth and of having courage, we lift up all of our brothers and sisters, all of our fellow human beings who are not yet seen in the full dignity of who they are as trans persons, as those who serve love in particular ways that are different than our way, or who look different than us, or who worship different than us, or all of the ways that God has brought us into a world of divine diversity. We pray for a world where all of God's children are respected and dignified and seen, loved and cherished. We call forth that world at this moment, that it might be so. May it be. Sing with us. את אדוני המבורך. Continue on page 33 and 34. Ruchat Shechina Elatenu, Ruach HaOlam Hashem Idvaram Harivaramim. We bless you, darkness. We bless you, darkness. We bless you, impermanence, separating night from day and day from night. Eila Eila Chaya Kayemet. Tamid Timulach Aleinu Leolam Avad. Rucha Ad Shechina, Rucha Ad Shechina, Amariva, Amariva, Aravi. Hey, Yamayo. Page 36, אהבת עולם, בית ישראל עמך אהבת. תור מצוות חוקים משפטים אותנו לימדת. כי הנה אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו. Our source of life, may we feel the presence of Allah's love. May we feel the presence of Krishna. May we feel the presence of the divine love in our lives, in our hearts, in our hands and in our feet. Beautiful goddess of compassion, fill us with ahava v'rachamim, with love and compassion, as we listen for the unity of creation. The ahava v'techa, al tasir mimenu olami. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We prepare for Shabbat, page 37 and 38. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elo, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elo, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elo, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Elo, Adonai Echad, Ushemo Shema Yisrael Adonai Elo Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad Shema Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad Adonai Echad Ushemo Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad Shema Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. On page 39 and 40, V'yohavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele
אשר אנוכי מצווך
היום על לבביך
ושיננתם לבניך
ודיברת בם בשמך
בביתך ובלכתך בדרך
ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו
לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Continue on page 49, 41, 42. Ve'yam shemot yishmu v'mitzvot. למען ירבו ימיכם ונכם על המשפש. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור דבר על בני ישראל ואמרת להם יעשו להם ציצית. למען תסגרו ועשיתם את כל מצוות והייתם קדושים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות אדוני אלוהיכם אמן. We turn to page 47 and 48. Moses and his sister and all the children of Israel, they were singing songs and they were joyous. They were happy. They couldn't believe it. It was amazing. They couldn't help themselves but breaking out in song. And they sang, Ichamocha. לשלום. עמידנו מלכינו לחיים ועשה לסוכה שלומך נתנו עצה טובה ולבטח ופרוס עלינו ושמור צאצאינו עין לחיים ולשוב מיד עולם ופרוס עלינו סוכה שלומך שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל ועל ירושלים. Please rise. On page 51 and 52 ושמרו Kaddish on page 51 and 52. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
יעלמה נברא חידושי וימליך מחוסי. לך יכולנו ויומך ובחי לכל בית ישראל. במעגל במעגל ובזמן הכל וימנו Amen. Yesh made a
יתברך וישתבח ויתברך ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה לעילא מן כל ברכתה שירתה תושבך זמנך רצה דמירון ועולמה ואמרו
The silent prayers known as Amidah can be found in your Sidurim on page 55 and 56 or in your own silence as we pray together. Peace, salam, shalom. 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 Everyone now. Peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, peace, salam. Peace, salam, peace, salam, shalom. 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 Pace, pace, pace. May there be shalva, peace, salam, shalom. Peace, salam, shalom. This week I celebrated 2 milestones. On Tuesday, God granted me the gift of my 54th solar return, otherwise known as a birthday. And this Shabbos, tonight and tomorrow, my twin brother and I celebrate the anniversary of our bar mitzvah 41 years ago. Reflecting on that day now, I remember walking with my father and brother from our hotel to Yemin Moshe, a beautiful neighborhood facing the walls of Yerushalayim, where my family had rented a small, quaint synagogue for the coming of age ceremony. I remember how excited I was and how scared also. I remember our outfits and I remember our cracking voices. And for some reason, I remember that neither my brother nor I gave a speech. And I feel that like each and every year as it comes around, when I speak on the Torah portion, I'm filling in what I didn't say then. And in many ways, I'm filling in what I never could say because the things that I've learned from my portion as an adult were not available to me as a child. So at least 2 times, maybe more, I've spoken to the very first part of the Shabbat's weekly wisdom, to the Tzav portion. The first part, a part that someone this week in my team over another job that I have called boring, it deals with an offering called the Olah. One of the different types of offerings that were made in the Mishkan. A little bit hot and bothered, so 1 second. If the baby's gonna be doing the thing that, I'm gonna do the thing too, so. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get serious here, okay, here we go. We're gonna go toe to toe, you ready? Ready? I know. Hear me too. So here's the story. The beginning of the Parsha that I read with my brother 41 years ago, the beginning of the Torah portion known as Tzav, which means command. The first 6 verses deal with something called an olah. The olah was a kind of sacrifice that was offered in the temple. It was a holy burnt offering. It meant, as the Torah describes in Leviticus 6, 1, 2, 3, that the entire animal was put on the Mizbeach, on the altar, and then it burned the whole night. And by morning, you can imagine what it looked like. So every morning when the priest woke up, the priest did something called Trumat HaDeshen. Trumat HaDeshen was the lifting off of the altar of the ashes of that holy burnt offering. And I've spoken about this at least twice. I give a sermon called, I think it was Ashes, Ashes, We All Rise Up. I spoke about it last year. And each year I'm fascinated by this ritual, this symbolically beautiful ritual that has a number of different pieces to it, at least 4 pieces. The Torah goes out of its way to say that when the priest would come to the altar, the priest would lift up a herimet deshen, would take the deshen, which is the ashes, off of the altar. That was step number 1. And step number 2 is v'samo eitzel mizbech. He would put it next to the altar, like an urn right here, next to the altar. That was step 2. And then the Torah tells us that the priest would then ufashat et bigadav v'lavash bigadim acherin. He would take off his clothing and put on other clothes. And the Torah tells us that. I mean, come on, really? Do we need to know that in the Torah? This is like some kind of fashion show, like the Oscars. Ufashat et bigadav v'lavash bigadim acherim. That's the 3rd step. And then the 4th step is the Kohen would take that urn full of messy, like these ashes, right, of the burnt offering, and take them michutz la'machana, outside the camp, el makom tahur, to a pure place. 4 steps. Clean the altar, take the ashes, put them where? Right next to the altar. Take a time out, go change your clothing, come back and pick it up again, and then take it to a pure place outside of the camp. 4 steps. And every year, as I think about this profound ritual and the seemingly irrelevant minutiae, I just think to myself, this is such a profound metaphor on so many levels for our spiritual lives, our national lives, our social lives. The fact that the Torah has a Torah of the Olah, like there's a Torah of what it is to elevate. Olah means to send up. And that instead of telling us what the Torah of the Olah is, it immediately pivots not from what goes up, but what is left behind. The remnant, the residue, the roshan. And it's messy. It's so messy that the Torah tells us that the Kohen has to change clothing because the clothing that they were wearing when they were doing the sacred service, they're nice, fancy clothing that they wear only when they pray and they serve. Make sure you go put on jeans and a t-shirt because you're going to get messy. The Torah of mess. That spirituality, building a life, building a family, building a society, building a nation. It has its elements, it has its holiness, it has its olah, it has the thing that you lift up, that you, as it were, bring to the altar, and then it has its inevitable ashes. The things that are the residue of the inevitable. If you want this, you can't have it without this. And the Torah tells us something so profound about how we treat our ashes. We treat them with reverence. Rav Kook, the great rabbi of pre-Mandate Palestine, wrote, he said, we place the ashes next to the Mizbeach, next to the altar, to tell us about how powerful even that which is left over is. that which has been burnt up, that which is no longer quote unquote useful. In fact, the Maggid of Mezrich, the great Hasidic Rebbe, said, let somebody who's looking for fire find it in the ashes. How much holiness is left in the embers of that which was left behind. And instead of discarding it or thinking of it as detritus, the Torah says, place it next to the altar, go get ready, and take it out to a holy place. Safeguard it. Safeguard the embers of what once was. It's hard not to read this and think to ourselves, wherever we are, about the way that we treat ashes. It's hard not to think about the embers that are still present in communities that were once vibrant and elevated and are now sometimes have some of that holy afar, that holy ash. The Torah tells us, treat that ash with dignity, with respect. It's beautiful. It once was and still might yet be. It's hard not to think about our country at various moments, the process of becoming the country that we're supposed to be, the olah, the elevation that doesn't, of course, come with messiness, the messy business of becoming from this imperfect union a more perfect union, and how frustrating it is and how angering it is. Isn't it true also of what's happening on the streets of Tel Aviv and Jerusalem at these moments? With all that's taking place there, it's easy to lose sight of the remarkable democracy that is in the state of Israel at this moment. The profound beauty of seeing people waving Israeli flags even as they're critical of the government and forcing it to shut down without violence, using that power of the people to speak out against what was unjust, to speak out against what they don't want to see, to actually claim a vision of a more democratic and more just and more equitable Israel. Isn't that also profoundly true about that olah that has, of course, its ashes? And the Torah tells us, don't kick on the ashes. Don't have a protest where you place the ashes on the front of the altar and say, look at these ashes, everybody. It's not all there is. Wear the right clothing, get prepared to be messy, pick up the ashes, bring them to a holy place and say, also, this is part of what it means to grow. Right? Just as Ari is like, I saw that sacred moment just now. I don't know if people saw that. I'm literally talking about detritus and he lifts up the baby's tushy right to his nose. Did you see that? Did you see that? That was on cue. It's like, yep, that's the way it goes. It's profoundly true in our own personal lives. I was thinking about all of the ashes in my own journey and my own desire to be elevated in my life. How I might see those moments, how I might see those places that are the inevitable, right? The inevitable after effects of my yearning for more life, the mistakes I've made. It's hard not to think about it when you go back through the 41 solar returns since my bar mitzvah, how often I took the ashes and instead of treating them with reverence, I just discarded them. Or worse, I didn't want to get dirty. It's like I'd rather just be burning all the time, that fuel. So says Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, the great German rabbi, the first thing we do when we come to the altar is we make room for the next iteration. We have to take the ashes off of the altar, remove them, because you can't light a fire if the ashes are still on the altar. And if you want a fire, you got to clean that altar. And then you deal with the mess. And you keep going. Every day, every morning, every evening. So this truth of how we clear the altar and how we lift up those ashes is our work each and every day. in so many different contexts and so many different relationships, we are reminded by this truth. I'll just say one last thing. And I don't remember anymore. I don't listen to my own sermons, so I don't know if I'm repeating myself. So if somebody remembers, maybe no one remembers it, so it'll be fresh for you. So it'll be the first time. I remember that my father, should live and be well, left Germany in 1938, 6 months before Kristallnacht. And from 1938 until 2007, almost 70 years, he did not return to Germany because that was the promise he made to his mother, Irene, when they were entering into the harbor in New York. I will never go back. And when my grandmother, Alav Aleh Shalom, my grandmother of blessed memory, passed away, my father felt as if his oath had been fulfilled. And when the Berlin government asked my father and my family to come back in 2007, we journeyed back to Berlin. And I spoke about it then in the shul. And I remember coming to the great synagogue that was in the center of Berlin that had been destroyed during Kristallnacht and had been restored. And as you walk into that synagogue, of course, they have a bit of a museum to the German community that was there before Kristallnacht, before the Shoah, before the Holocaust. And in the center of that museum, there is this Torah scroll, and it is opened to chapter 6 of the book of Leviticus, to the holy burnt offering, the Holocaust offering, which is what the word means, holy burnt. And I remember the tour guide said that this piece of Torah, on one level, is of course the destruction of German Jewry. But we learned, she said, from the ashes that were placed by the altar and then taken to a holy place, that this place would again hold sacred services. This place again would open itself and its doors to the rebirth of Judaism in Germany. And kachaya, that's what happened. And so I say to each and every one of you on the individual level, you are an ever returning person. You are an ever returning person. The ashes in your life have embers. As we cleanse the altar and we then ready ourselves to receive something fresh, we also turn in reverence to what was behind and what was burnt. And the same thing is true for us as a Jewish community and writ large. I believe in that power of humanity, and I believe in our capacity to rebuild and to recognize that building a life often involves a lot of ashes. May God bless us to be able to extract the holy embers. May God bless us to not give up on the profound responsibility to keep elevating ourselves and our world, and to treat that which is often seen as garbage as the sacred remnant of a yearning that can never, ever be extinguished. Please rise. On page 78, Aleinu l'shabech l'adon hakol atet gidula liyotzeh b'shir. Hashevota el levavecha
ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim
please remain standing if you're remembering a loved one tonight for the mourner's Kaddish. If you feel comfortable saying the name of your loved one out loud, I invite you to do so as we move around the room. Paul, Ron, Eric, Jeff. Yes. Paul. Harley. In the back, anyone? Leonard? Okay, yes. Marlene. Paula. Anyone else? Did we miss anyone? And those online as well. In the corner. I'm sorry. Okay. If your custom is to stand for the mourners, please rise. The mourner's Kaddish can be found on page 115. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'olma divrach yirutei v'yamlich machusei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kori v'imru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mivorach le'alam le'amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekutsha b'richu le'elah min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'a miran v'olma v'imiru.
Amen.
Yehi shloma rabba min shmaya v'chayim tovim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Aseh shalom b'mromav hoy aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru.
Amen.
Yehi zichram baruch, may their memory be blessed. We invite everybody to please rise at this moment. Before we make Kiddush, we want to thank Elliot, and we want to thank Jeffrey and Victor and all of those who are on staff. We want to thank the remarkable davening team tonight, Brielle and let's see, Rabbi Zach Fredman, and Zafir and Yakuba, Nezi, and Noah Solomon. We want to also a big yesher koach to, in general, I think this is the second to last. Do you have one more with us, Zach? Forever. Zach's here forever. If anybody wants to rent, like make sure that Zach never leaves, you feel free to do that. We'll be happy to have that happen. It's just such a blessing. I know that we're later than we usually do, and people make their dinner plans by some sense of stability, but tonight I felt like there was a lot of bhakti, a lot of ruach, a lot of devotion in the room, and it's so healing to forget about time in that way. So I wanted to first of all say I'm sorry that we're later than usual, and also say I'm really happy that we are. And you can join us for Kiddush on page 88.
יום השישי ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו אשר ברא
Chaim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hakafei.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'masei v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu acharta ve'otanu kidashta im kol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Ruchat Shekhinah